Welcome, everyone. Here with manager Bud Black. Nick, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, buddy, this might be a dumb question, but
There's no such thing as a dumb question, Nick. I
well,
learned that.
just
I'm
wait,
in second grade.
just wait for it. This week, because you guys are facing really good pitchers basically all week. Beyond the results, the actual results, are you seeing good at bats, good approaches at the plate?
I've seen better at bats over the last, I'd say, 2.5 weeks. Even some of the at bats on the road, maybe we didn't get a great outcome, but we track our chase rates. We track, what we're doing with the ball in the strike zone, what we're doing with the fastball, what we're doing with the breaking ball. All these things that are that can be measured. We're measuring them, as you know. Our hitting coaches do a great job of that, and the conversations with the 12 hitters are ongoing daily about the things that we're trying to do. So, yeah, the short answer to your question is yes. I think the overall at bats of the 12 position players have been better.
Yeah, CJ even mentioned Mags's sort of help with him and other hitters about their approaches. Did you, looking back over this time that you mentioned, was it like a light switch that flipped? Are you seeing like a gradual?
No, it's just ongoing, but like I've said a lot of things don't happen overnight. It's a gradual progression to get to improvement, and I think we're seeing that. You can't just from one game to the next all of a sudden become something, right? It's a process. Because there's always a pitcher on the other mound with a major league arm trying to get you out, and there is I don't know whether comfort factor, but there is a factor of a hitter doing what he's done for a long time, or what he sort of has done in the past. That at times it's hard to change in a relatively short period of time. It's very, very rare that happens. So it's a process. It's discussion, and you'll see it, and we'll see it from at bat to at bat, maybe game to game, week to week. We'll see progress with guys, and it could be anywhere from something that Trev and Charlie are working on to Cron or Mac and Tap, and then our lesser service time guys who are still trying to get their real footing in the big leagues and their at bats. So, but I think we can go through the list one by one, which will take a while, so we won't do it. But I think if you observe the games, you can see some improvement in a lot of the guys' approaches and their at bats.
Gotcha. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Manny.
But you guys went out and met with Herman on the mound in the first inning there. Could you tell us a little bit more about what that was about, and the fact that he came out after 83 pitches? Is he all right?
A couple things. Yeah, he took that comebacker off the left wrist, and that got him pretty good. So we went out just to check to see if it was okay, make sure nothing was, for lack of a better word, anything broken or any trauma to his left wrist. And he assured us he was fine, and some of the tests that Scotty put him through were for us to have him continue. So he continued there. In the fifth inning, he started cramping up on the left side of his back. He's been through this before, as you know. The last couple of years, there's been a couple of games where we've had to take him out because he's cramped. So in the fifth, it started. He went out in the sixth, got through the sixth. We were planning on having him go out for the seventh. He hit in the bottom of the sixth. But when he came back from his at bat, he was sitting on the dugout steps, and he's in the dugout bench, and his hamstrings, his back started cramping up. Again, dehydration, I'm not sure, but, Herman's had a little bit of history with this, so. It's getting, the onset of the cramping was getting worse as the inning went on. We had a pitching change and it kept getting worse. So at that point, we removed him. It gave, Bowden Almonte plenty of time to get loose, and he scored the 2 runs, and we felt that, it was time to take him out. He couldn't have went back out for the summer.
Gotcha. And this club, obviously, there's the home road split, but what's really remarkable is the counterintuitive nature of how the starting pitching here has been tremendous, and on the road it struggled. What would you attribute that to? I mean, we saw it again tonight.
I wish I had the answer. I just know that, in general, I think whether it's the Rockies or the other 29 teams, I think there's a comfort factor when you're at home, in your own ballpark, in your own home. Your surroundings, you feel comfortable. I know offensively, this ballpark is, it's offensively slanted. As it relates to our pitchers don't care about that. Our pitchers are mentally tough. Our starting pitchers, especially in regards to that, because they're the ones throwing, 100 pitches per start roughly, and they just make pitches. And again, I think overall, that was maybe a little bit of an aberration. We didn't make some plays behind them, but our defense has been pretty good at home. Our starting pitching is solid at home. We need the bullpen to follow that as well. I don't have the answer, except that I think overall, most major league players, all 700 plus of them, I think feel more comfortable and probably a little bit more confident in their home ballpark.
Thanks, Mike.
Go ahead, Danielle.
Hey, buddy, just with CJ Cron, what's it been like seeing him put everything together these past few days?
Well, it's good to see. He's got that in him. He's been a little bit streaky this year. That's a little bit of his history over his career. He's got power. We know that. You can look at his statistics over his 6+ years in the big leagues, and you can see that the power shows up. It was good to see tonight against a very good pitcher. Arguably one of the top 5-6 pitchers in the National League, and he took him out as the field for a grand slam. Yesterday against Snell, who's also a very good pitcher, took him deep. The day before that, the opposite field homer again. So he's got all field power. There's no doubt about that. We got to get him going. I think that in the middle of our lineup, when you have power, with McMahon and Cron and Chuck and Trevor, and they haven't quite hit their stride yet as far as the long ball, but it's a pretty good grouping of power. And home runs, in this day and age are advantageous, and CJ has that capability.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tracy.
But I know that, like you said, guys do get comfortable at home, but the starting rotation you have right now, there hasn't been one like that at Coors Field where the guys seem to be so much in command. Does that just say something about the quality of pitching you've been able to put together finally?
Well, we started, 2017 with, the German Marquez, Sensatella grouping of rookie pitchers. And those guys have grown. John was a 1-year player at that time. We had, Tyler Anderson, Chad Bettis, other guys have been in the rotation and made starts for us over the 4 previous years. But, we've seen these guys grow, and we've seen them, produce, and we've seen them, become, legitimate starting pitchers in the big leagues. And Trace, more than anybody, this is a tough place to pitch. And our guys disregard that as far as, what's out there nationally, what's out there in reality. So very proud of this group as far as that. And, starting pitching, that is the foundation of any team's success. You have to have that every night if you're going to run through 162 games over 6 months. We've always felt that, our guys give us a chance to win because they're talented and they're good pitchers. We never take that for granted. And, I got to, pat those guys on the back publicly and also behind the scenes because, they are the backbone of any team's success. And I'm sure that 29 other general managers will tell you the same thing, that starting pitching is imperative for success.
Thank you.
Last couple hands here. We'll go to Owen Perkins and finish with Patrick Lyons. Go ahead, Owen.
Hey, buddy. On Herman's night, it seemed like a good bounce back for him after one of his more challenging starts, and getting right back where he'd been before that. What did you see from him when he was out there on the mound tonight? And
honestly, Owen, he wasn't really sharp. Fastball command was spotty. The 3 walks. Couldn't really locate the fastball for me. The breaking ball got better as the game went on. I like the fact that he mixed in a couple changeups. But he did throw enough quality pitches to record the outs, or some double play balls in there that helped him. But I've seen him better, honestly.
Yeah.
He gave up what? We gave up 1 hit, right?
right.
1 hit, 3 walks, and 6 innings. You'd think that I'd be praising him, but and I'm not. I have high expectations for Vermont. I have high expectations for all our guys, and they know that. They know where I stand. The responsibility that they bring to our team, and he'll probably say the same thing. But he did have a good breaking ball. I thought from about the 3rd inning on. Fastball command was velocity-wise was fine, but he didn't really command it. But again, he threw some good ones when he needed to. So, if you tell me next outing he'll go 6 innings and give up 1 hit and no runs, what can I say? I'll take it. But
All right.
he wasn't. I've seen him better many times.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead and close us out, Patrick.
Hey, buddy. Garrett Hampson had a pretty solid game all around tonight. Hit the ball really well. Even in that last at bat, made the great diving play defensively in the 9th. How much more comfortable has he been looking as this season has gone on for you? Again, he's still only 26 years old and kind of doing some things on both sides of the ball in the infield and outfield.
He's been contributing. I think with Hampy, it shows up in a lot of different ways. And it showed up, like you said, on that play in the 9th grade play. It showed up the other night with a pinch hit triple. It showed up today in the 1st inning with that homer behind Cron. He'd be the first to tell you that, I'm not a 245 hitter. My on-base percentage should be higher. So I think with Hampy, Patrick, there's more upside, and he'll agree with you. He'll agree with you. But he's talented. He does things to help us win. He steals bases. He makes plays. He plays defense. He's versatile. He's got some sneaky pop with the bat. He's working on some things with Max and hitting guys too that I think will eventually help him in the long run. But like Daza, Fuentes, Dom Nunez, Brendan Rodgers, these guys are growing before your eyes. And, we want it to happen sooner rather than later, but it doesn't happen like that. It takes time. But if you watch each and every one of our games, you'll see Hampy at times, make many contributions to our victories.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.